Okay, speaking up. How do we learn how to speak up in the martial arts? Well, one very easy way we learn how to speak up in the martial arts is tap out. Somebody's putting a joint lock on or choke on too tight. If they're pinning you too tight for you grapplers. If they're punching at you too much or kicking at you too much for you strikers, you speak up. You say stop. You speak up by tapping out or saying, but take. But other ways that we speak up in the martial arts is, hold on for a second. TV's got a mind of its own. Other ways that you speak up in the martial arts is with the ki. Kia! That is actually speaking up. When you learn how to yell with your techniques, it gives you more confidence. You hit harder. You're literally speaking up with a louder voice in terms of interjecting the energy of your voice and the elements into your technique. You're doing it vocally. You speak up when you do the spirit yell, when you kia. Now, on a less esoteric note, as instructors, we have to speak up. We have to speak up when students want to come into class and have class their way and not want to go along with the rules of the dojo. Like, you know, students that want to spar full contact when it's not full contact. Students that don't want to spar full contact when it is full contact. Some people want to come in and try to make everything MMA. When it's not, you know, you have to speak up. Like with me, where I'm at, I allow choking, but I still do it from a judo standpoint, probably because that's part of my background. So I tell a lot of people a lot of times, if you're going to crank on the head, you have to have an arm in there. That's for safety reasons. I have to speak up about that, or they'll just do what they want. I've been told I'm not allowed to let people bring real bladed weapons, and definitely not a gun, into the community center. So when people try to do that, I have to speak up. I have to speak up and talk to parents when their child isn't acting right. You know, I have to speak up. So there's a lot of ways instructors have to speak up. Now, if you're a student, you need to speak up if you feel like you're not getting what you need or the attention that you need because of someone else being disruptive. You should speak up. Definitely in my classes, if that's a problem, speak up. Speak up if you feel like you should be promoted. Don't do the, oh, I'm so humble, I'll never ask for rank. Ask. Now be prepared for the answer. When you speak up to ask when you're going to be promoted, and then your instructor speaks up back and says no, or tells you what's holding you back, accept it, but speak up. Because what you're doing is you're going to make the instructor pay attention to you. Go, well, he or she wants to be promoted. So let me see if he or she really is. As an assistant instructor, sometimes you need to speak up on behalf of the students. Now, this can be a little tricky because you still have to be respectful, but you are expected to have a little bit more of a voice because you are an assistant instructor now, even though you're not the head instructor. When I was assistant instructing, I remember this like it was yesterday. There was a student I felt like was basically being lost in the sauce. And he was having trouble. He was struggling. He was not a natural athlete, but I still felt like it was time for him to at least, you know, get promoted to yellow belt. Come on. And he was trying. He was just having trouble. And so I spoke up on his behalf to the head instructor. Now, what I didn't know is that student's parent, some martial arts parents, you have to speak up. He had spoken up to the instructor, and the instructor wasn't buying it at first. But then when I said something, and I didn't know, because I didn't know the guy's dad like that. I didn't know that dad had spoken to the instructor, and then the instructor thought about it. He figured if it's coming from both angles, two totally unrelated parties with two completely different agendas, it's probably something I need to look at. And he looked at it, and little man ended up being promoted. And that's why that instructor, I'm not going to say who it was, that instructor's always going to be one of my favorite instructors. So I always consider him one of my teachers to this day. So you got to speak up. And learning how to speak up in the martial arts can bleed over into the rest of your life. Now, of course, you know, when you try to speak up at work, you got to be careful because you may speak up and find yourself up and out of a job. You know, so speaking up at work, you have to take that with a grain of salt. I know I've gotten in trouble during my career speaking up at my day job. But you got to speak up. I definitely speak up here online. That's what these videos are for, so I can speak up. But not just so I can speak up, so I can speak to, and so I can listen. But listening is skill number 4. So, speak up. Speak up. Sometimes speaking up can help you, prevent you from being the victim of an assault or crime. Because you'll speak up and know, oh, that's bleeding into number 3, confidence. So, learn how to speak up. Again, speak up when you need to tap out, when you want the person to stop. You feel like you're being mistreated. You feel like you want to learn more or maybe move on to the next rank. You know, when you need to set the standards in your class, speak up. And the next time you do your forms or you go to do that break, cover your ears. I'm warning you, cover your ears. Speak up. Peace.